Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Rob Peters. I am 20 years now into my technical professional career. I started out knowing absolutely nothing, even though I had computing experience. I started in the late 80s on our home computer, which was one of the first Apples to come out. I think it was a Mark II and a Commodore keyboard. It was amazing. Um, but that was where my passion started for technology, and I really had no idea. It wasn't longer that I found myself being um, alone and needing to be with other kids. So I basically went outside and started playing. And I went and played sports. I went and played anything that I could with the kids in the community. And I just, when I had time, I would go home and get back on the computer. And when I was alone, and that was okay too, I would get on the computer and that passed the time. So 20 years later, when I got to college, I started out as an investment banker, and it wasn't at the end of that semester, 2 semesters. I realized that investment banking wasn't for me, and I had to take a long, hard look at what I was doing, where I was going, and really decide what was going to be my future. And really, there was no question for me. All roads led to technology. So I enrolled in SUNY Potsdam in Potsdam, New York, and I started going to class, playing sports, and started down my path of computer science, information systems, and security. And the rest, as they say, is history. Um, Look, I'll be honest. I was not a great student. I was a busy human being at 20. I was playing 2 sports, and the truth is, I was balancing a computer science curriculum, but only to keep playing sports. I was about a 2.3 average student. I was not great by any sense of the word. I just wasn't committed at the time, and that's the truth. Um, the best experience I got was while I was in college. It was, I don't know, 2002, 2003. It was an internship. I got a phone call in the middle of the summer. I pulled off. I can remember it like it was yesterday. I pulled off to the side of the road. I took the call. It was my brother-in-law asking me, "Hey, what are your plans for the summer? And can you be a couple states away by tomorrow?" I didn't have anything going on, and the prospect of having real, technical experience, for a Department of Defense company and contracting, um, it was a no-brainer for me. So I went. I'm not going to share. I won't share. I won't share anything about what I saw there, other than um, the most important thing I learned was to know your product from start to finish, and that's where I'll leave it at. To me, that was the biggest thing I took away there, was knowing exactly what your product does, what it's supposed to do, how it's supposed to do it, and what happens when a user that doesn't know what they're doing doesn't use it appropriately, right? Typically, when we build stuff, we use it for, or we build for certain use case scenarios, and let a user come in and show us another use case scenario that we didn't plan for. So again, to reiterate, the biggest thing that I took away from that was the ability to know your product from start to finish. And to me, that was cool for me, because I'm curious. I want to know how things work. I'm not going to just take I'm not going to take anybody's answer for it, for that matter. I'll take your word respectfully, and then I'll go look and make sure you're not, feeding me full of shit. Um, and that's just the way it works. I think a lot of us are hardened at this state. 20 years, I know not to, when you get punched in the face, you don't chase the person around in haste just because you got punched in the face. The correct thing to do is to pause, think about exactly what just happened, and think about the correct approach forward. So that was the biggest takeaway I got from that experience. Again, I did not have the luxury of knowing anything. Um, I can type, at that time, I could type really fast without looking at the keyboard. I don't need to look at the keyboard. I can look anywhere. I can type. So the passion of just wanting to learn more was really what got me there. So, brings me back to school. And that time I got back that summer, and finished up school. My last semester, in the last week of school, my father had a massive heart attack and was given 2 weeks to live. And so, for me, I'm the youngest of 11. My family is and was everything at the time. And so that just ended my time in college. I never went back. So I'm 17 credits short. I have 130 credit hours with 103 that are matriculated for a computer science degree. And I just never went back for personal circumstances, but I don't regret it. It was time for me to get serious, and I went and got a job.